Welcome to the 2021 Pick n Pay Shop Stewards Alliance company presentation. To start, let's take a look at the effects of COVID-19 on the retail sector. The COVID-19 virus has already led to a number of workplace shutdowns and quarantines. We've seen an accelerated shift to on-demand and online shopping, and shoppers seem to be more careful with spending. While big retailers seem to have recovered from initial lockdowns, new lockdowns will further negatively affect retailers. Pick n Pay acknowledges that customers will require even lower prices and greater value against the backdrop of COVID-19. Around 20% of Pick n Pay's revenue comes from liquor, tobacco, and clothing. These items also have higher margins than basic food and groceries. Pick n Pay lost an estimated 4 billion rand in sales due to restrictions on the sale of these items. Pick n Pay is looking to double the number of its Boxer stores to 600 within 5 years to target underserved, low and middle income shoppers. Retail workers are frontline workers. Shoprite has urged government to let it vaccinate its 140,000 workers. We believe that Pick n Pay should join Shoprite in the fight for vaccines for retail workers. In terms of operations, at the end of February 2021, Pick n Pay operated 1,172 company-owned stores and 761 franchise stores and 61 TM supermarkets. That's 1,994 total. Most of these stores are in South Africa, with only 163 stores outside of South Africa. During this time, Pick n Pay closed 19 stores. It also opened 39 new Pick n Pay stores and 27 new Boxer stores. In total, Pick n Pay has increased their store footprint by 69 stores. Pick n Pay also opened their first store in Nigeria in March 2021. In terms of growth strategy, Pick n Pay says that South Africa's process of urbanization means that the formal retail market will keep growing. The long-term trend is for customers to visit local convenience stores more often rather than doing one big shop. Pick n Pay has close to 2,000 stores spread across 8 countries. When looking at the rest of Africa stores, we see that Pick n Pay operates in Botswana, Lesotho, Namibia, Eswatini, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. In terms of size, we can see that only 8% of Pick n Pay stores, are in the rest of Africa. Around 11% of employees are in the rest of Africa. In terms of revenue, the rest of Africa only brings in around 3% of revenue. However, when we look at profit before tax, we see that the rest of Africa brings in around 8%. Despite bringing in less revenue, the rest of Africa segment is still very profitable. Pick n Pay is talking about changing up things in Zambia, moving to a more cost-effective and efficient limited-range discount model, where it will close underperforming stores and reduce the size of other stores. In Zimbabwe, TM has grown its market share. Let's take a look at revenue and profit. In 2021, Pick n Pay's revenue increased significantly by 4.25%. This is an increase of about 3.8 billion rand. When we look at this over time, we see that Pick n Pay has seen a steady increase in revenue since 2010. When looking at profit before tax, we see that there has been a drop of 18.88%. When we take a look at executive directors, we see that the CEO of Shoprite, Richard Brasher, has retired. He is being replaced by a man called Pieter Boone. Brasher has been hailed as growing Pick n Pay over his 8-year time. He grew turnover, he grew the store network, and he grew the share price. The new CEO was born in the Netherlands and has worked in Germany. He will target discount stores like Boxer. He's also targeting online growth. When we take a look at CEO pay over time, we see a massive increase in 2021 because Mr. Brasher retired, and this means he had a huge payout. In 2021, Brasher was paid 37.1 million rand in cash. In the same year, shares awarded over the last few years have vested, which means that they have become his, and these currently have the value of approximately 74.6 million plus 41.3 million rand. He can sell these shares at any time. Here's a screenshot from the annual report. The new CEO has been awarded 1 million shares, which vest in 2 equal chances. At current share prices, this is in excess of 50 million rand, and we consider this excessive. While we do appreciate that the new CEO should be granted significant incentives, but that these should be based on growing business. When we look at executive director average remuneration over time, we see that 2021 was very high. In terms of non-executive directors, we see that the average went down by about 17.5%. This is mainly due to the fact that 3 non-executive directors have been recently appointed and 1 retired in August, so they were only paid for the year in part. When we take a look at workers, we see that retail is still the biggest employer in South Africa. Pick n Pay reports employing 54,900 people in its company-owned stores and a further 35,100 in its franchise stores. There is, however, no information in the report on whether these are full-time, permanent, or part-time employees. In the first half of the financial year, Pick n Pay paid out over 200 million rand in voluntary severance packages. Like most other retailers, Pick n Pay is trying to create a more flexible, efficient, and productive workforce. This means that Pick n Pay will likely push for more part-time workers and less workers to do the same amount of work. Pick n Pay is continually outsourcing its supply chain. It seems like new distribution centers will continue to have only outsourced workers. We take a look here at a screenshot from the annual report detailing what is called Project Future. It's very much focused on staff restructuring programs to improve productivity and efficiency. This is in line with what we're seeing in retail in general. Over the course of the last 10 years, Pick n Pay has significantly increased its workforce. This is mainly due to the fact that it's also grown its number of stores significantly. The unions represented in our alliance are from Botswana, Swaziland, South Africa, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Zambia. When you think about this report, think about what stands out for you and tell me what makes you feel worried. Feel free to contact me at this email address.